All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and start with our toe lift. So lift and lift. So today we have 2 circuits, and there's 6 exercises in each circuit. We're going to do 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest, and we're going to do 2 rounds. Heels up, right, and left. So just alternate, lift and lower those heels. So the first circuit is standing. The second circuit is down on the floor, but if you don't want to go to the floor, you don't have to. We're going to stand nice and tall, just start to add a nice good march. So we're thinking about bracing our core, trying to lift our thighs as close to parallel to the floor as we can get. You can start to add a little curl if you'd like. All right, hamstring curls. Try to kick yourself in the tush. Reach the hands back, little tricep press. Good, 4, 3, 2. All right, let's bring the knees back up. So up and up. Start to add a forward arm reach, starting to wake up those shoulders. 4, 3, 2. Good. Hamstring curls again. Hand is going to reach towards your opposite heel. So as we move through our workout today, I always try to keep up with the music, at least in the warm-up. You don't have to. Good, let's just tap it side to side right here. Tap and tap. Reach it towards the front. 4, 3, 2. Let's reach it up and overhead. So add a little side bend. We're just trying to reach towards the ceiling. Wake up the shoulders. 4, 3, 2, feet hip width apart, slow deadlift. Hinge it forwards, stand up nice and tall. So we just think hinge, 2, lift, 2. This is one of our moves today. We're going to combine our deadlift with a squat. I want you to think you're pushing your hip back towards the wall, and then we just tuck it under to stand tall. Good, hinge, 2, lift, 2. We're going to come up nice and tall. Now we're going to sit. So sit in the chair and then stand up again. You don't have to get your hips super, super far down. We just want to push the hips back, stand up nice and tall. Down and lift. Good. Keep going. Down, 2, up, 2, down, and lift. So we're pushing through those feet, coming up tall. Hold it in the center. We're just going to open and close. So waking up the back a little bit. Nice good chest opener. 4, 3, 2. Good. Bring it in the center. We're going to circle the arm up and back and then bring it back around. Switch sides. Up and around. Back around. It's okay if your arm circle is a little bit smaller. Up and back. Back around. 4 more. Thumb up, pinky down. Thumb up, pinky down. So think thumb up, rotate, bring it back. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Forward step and reach. So take it forward and pull. Step forward. It's a little mini lunge. We take a step forward. Try to drop your back knee down towards the floor. 2. Step it out to the side, hold it in place. We're just going to go side to side. So a little inner and outer thigh. We have side lunges today. We do have side lunges today. Hold it in the center, cat-cow, inhale, exhale. So just gentle arch, little tuck. If you don't want to arch and round, you hold your spine neutral and you belly breathe. So breathe in, exhale out. But if you're comfortable with it, just a little arch and around. Waking up the low back and a little bit of your hips. Good, 1 more. Let's roll it all the way up. Give yourself a little bit of space. We're gonna do our plank walkout. So we're gonna hinge it forwards, walk it out to a plank, hold it for a moment, walk yourself back up to standing. If that is not for you today, hands on the seat of a chair, walk it back into a plank, hold it, and then walk it back up to standing. So you can always modify Just maybe, a walkout just doesn't feel very good today. So we just walk it out, hold your plank for a moment, walk it all the way back up. Good, I'm gonna go for one more. Hinge it forwards. I'm trying to see if I can get my hip to behave today. Good, walk it all the way back up, come back into the center, and we're gonna start with our heel stomps. So, if you can do this barefoot, great. If you've got shoes on, that's okay too. But I want you to think about stomping the heels on the ground as hard as you can. If you want to do a full jump, feel free. You choose. Good, 4, 3. Let's march it out, shake it out, roll the shoulders, walk around, grab a quick drink of water. So circuit number 1, we have side stepping squats with curls. So we're gonna step out, curl to the top. Step out, curl to the top. Second exercise, step out, reach for the sky. And then we're gonna do our rows. Then we have deadlift and squat. So one deadlift, one squat. Then we're going to do lunge, side raise, and then we're gonna do weighted marches. So we're gonna do those 6 exercises to start, and then we'll go super short rest, and then we'll go right into round 2. If you want to, you can do this body weight for lower body. You can hold a dumbbell at your chest. It's completely up to you how you're feeling today. Put side stepping squats with a curl in 3, 2, and 1. So we have 45 seconds. So you can just step it out, curl at the top, step it out, curl at the top. As always, take your time. This is your strength today. So we step out, center up our bodies, sit down, or think about stepping out. We're picking something up off of the floor, bringing it up to our chest because we have to carry it upstairs, or we've got to carry it around for a little bit. So just squat and stand. Squat, curl it at the top. We've done a lot of upper body this week, so I wanted to make sure we got a little bit of extra lower body. That's our plan for today. Here's 2 and 1. Good. All right, second exercise. We're gonna step it out to the side, sit, stand, press it overhead. If you don't want to do the overhead press, you can do a front raise. 2 and 1. So this is your option if overhead presses are not for you today. That's okay. And you can just make it a little step, stand tall, and lift. I am gonna go for my overhead presses. I'm trying not to overdo it. I'm going a little bit light today because my shoulders actually feel pretty good. Nice, good press. Step it out, stand tall, and press. So we step out, we sit our hip into that chair. So imagine there's 2 chairs, one on either side of you, and we want to step out, sit your hip into that chair, stand up nice and tall. Good, set it down. Rows, no lower body, just upper body. Shoulders down, tuck your ribs. We're gonna push our hips back. Arms are down, and we're gonna pull right to the front of our hips and go forwards. Your time's on. So row, and then down. Row, and down. So I want you to think, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pull right towards the fronts of your hips. We don't have to get our arms like way high, and we don't want to pull to our armpits. Think of it as being a little bit of a back and down. Pull the shoulder blades down and back into your back pocket, squeeze them together, and if you'd like, you can always alternate right, left. I'm going to go ahead and keep going with both arms this round. Just nice, good squeeze, and stand. Belly button pulled in, ribs are tucked. 2 and 1. Good. Bring it all the way up. We're going to do 1 deadlift, 1 squat. So feet hip width, toes pointing forwards, brace the core. Hinge, stand, sit, and stand. Your time is on. So we hinge it forwards, we stand up tall, we sit our hips towards our heels, and then we stand. It's okay if you hinge here and then you just have a little squat. You just have a little discussion with your hips, your knees, and your ankles and see how you're feeling today. So hinge, lift, down, and up. When we do our squats, our chest does not have to stay perfectly up if we're arching our low back and puffing out our buns. So little tuck under and sit. Hinge, lift, good. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way up in the center. I'm going a little bit lighter. We're gonna lunge with a side raise. Lunge with a side raise. So I'm gonna do reverse lunges, step it back. Here we go. So we're going to drop the back knee towards the floor, stand, arms out to the side. I'm gonna alternate. So drop it down, stand, and lift. And it's okay if your lunge is small. You choose. Front knee stays over your shoelaces. So if we step back and our front knee pushes forwards, that's going to put a little extra stress on our knees. So we just step back, front knees over the shoelaces, back knee drops down towards the floor, nice and tall. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little rest. Weighted march. Option 1, hands by your hips. Option 2, hands here. Option 3, this one's more challenging, arms overhead. We're just gonna stand nice and tall, tuck the ribs under, march, and march. This move just always reminds me of me trying to carry those softener salt bags, which wouldn't be so bad, except I'm short. So if I try to carry the bags like normal, they're practically dragging the ground. But that's what I think about. I think I'm carrying in my groceries. I'm carrying the water softener salt to go down into the basement, which is nice and tall. The challenge is to try not to weeble wobble. I know they say weebles wobble, but they don't fall down, which is what we're hoping for. But we're trying to stabilize our core nice and tall. Here's 2 and 1. Dumbbells down. Super, super quick drink. We're gonna go back through those 6 exercises again. So super quick drink. Decide if you wanna go up in weight, stay the same, or maybe you need to go down a little bit today. I'm hoping everybody can at least do the same weight, but if you need to drop down or if you wanna go up, go for it. We're gonna grab our dumbbells, getting ready for side-stepping squats. Good. 4, 3, 2, time is on. So side-stepping squat, curl it at the top. So squat it down, curl at the top. So think about picking something up and coming up tall. And this is another one, it's okay if your squat isn't super deep. I want you to think about that good body position. So if you're dropping down towards the floor, I want you to think about little rib tuck. You're picking something up that's right between your feet. So I can go pretty deep down. If you're not able to, that's okay. Everybody's different. Nice and tall. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Side lunge with an overhead press. So this is our step out, bun goes into the chair. So you've got 2 chairs, one on either side of you. You want to get into that chair. So we're gonna step, push the hip back, then come up because it's taken, press overhead. Step out, push the hip back and down, and press. We don't want to take a step and press the knee forwards. And we don't have to do like a step and turn our body to get into the chair. Just a little step out, stand tall, reach it up, step it out, reach it up. Good, we've got about 12 seconds. The nice thing about this too is lower body and upper body, we're gonna get that heart rate elevated. Good, little rest. Rows. This circuit, I am going to do alternating. I'm gonna do right then left. I'm gonna do right left. So shoulders down, just a little tiny tail feather tuck, hinge it back right here. Pull and pull. So squeeze the shoulder blade together at the top. So you're pulling your shoulder blade in towards the middle of your back. It's a little pinch. I always tell people, imagine you've got to squeeze an orange, but you don't have a juicer. So you're just gonna squeeze it between your shoulder blades. I don't know why you would. Or you can imagine trying to squeeze a pencil between your shoulders. So just nice, good row. My hands almost run from my knee back to my pocket. So I'm trying to pull something up, bring it right to my front pocket. 2 and 1. A little shakeout. 1 deadlift, 1 squat. 1 deadlift, 1 squat. So feet are about hip to shoulder width apart. Again, just a little bit of a tuck in. So stack your ribs over your hips. Here we go. Hinge it back. Stand up tall. Sit. And then stand. So one way to think about this is you are going to hinge down, grab your pants, pull the pants up, and then you've got to sit to put on your shoes. So we grab our pants, pull the pants up, sit to put on your shoes. Or you pulled your pants up and you realize that your belt is still down on the floor. So we're gonna pull our pants up. So hinge forward, pull your pants up, have a seat. We're gonna grab the belt that's on the floor. Good, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Lunges with a side raise. Lunges with a side raise. So our weight stays in our front foot. We just do a little step, like you step back, drop the back knee to the floor, stand, lift to the side. Step back, weights in my front leg, back knee to the floor, stand tall, side raise. Personal preference. So drop, lift, and stand. So we're balancing on the big toe and the ball of the foot on the back leg, but our front foot is a nice supported tripod. If you're starting to feel this a little bit more, you can absolutely alternate your arms. This is our slow and steady, right? Drop the back knee down towards the floor, lift, 2 and 1. Good job. Weighted march. Weighted march. You can just do 1 dumbbell right in the center if that feels better, or 1 dumbbell in each hand. You pick your position. But again, just a little bit of a rib tuck. We march and we march. So we're working on core stability here. So we're working on stabilizing our spine while we're doing other things. If you want to make this a little bit harder, bring the arms up. We don't want to rest the weights on our shoulders. We're holding them up there. Show me your pinkies, show me the ends of your dumbbells, and just stand nice and tall. This just changes your center of gravity a little bit. If you'd like, press it up and overhead. This one's harder, so if you're not ready for that today, that's okay. You're still getting a good core workout. Here's 2 and 1. Good job. Bring it down. Walk around, wiggle the fingers, grab a drink. We are gonna head down to the floor. As always, if you wanna stay standing, you're gonna stay standing. We are gonna do Skullcrushers. We're gonna be on our backs for 4 of the 6 exercises, just in case that matters. Skullcrushers with a leg extension. If you're staying standing, you're gonna have your dumbbells and you're gonna do a little tap, and you're gonna think about reaching the hands back to the wall. We're working the back of our arms, so it's straighten and bend, straighten and bend. If you are staying standing, the next one is a chest press with a leg kick out. If you've got a band, you're gonna do a banded chest press. If you don't have bands, You're gonna grab 2 dumbbells and you're gonna draw an upside down V, or you're gonna draw a rainbow. You're gonna start at the end, meet in the middle, and then go back down. Then we're gonna do pullovers. If you're standing, you're gonna do a straight arm press back. So the first exercise, bend and straighten the elbow. This exercise, straight arm. Bicycles, shoulder towards the opposite hip. Planks, farmer's carry, heavy dumbbells. Walk around, you can walk forwards and back, and you can walk in a circle. Snow angels, if you're standing, I want you to hinge forwards, and you can put your forehead on a table or on a chair. And I just want you to think about drawing a snow angel on your tummy. But we're gonna take it down onto our backs. So we're gonna start with our knees bent, feet flat on the floor, 1 dumbbell or 2. If it's 1 dumbbell, you're gonna hold it on the ends. And they call this a skull crusher because you're gonna bend your elbow and bring the dumbbell handle kind of towards your forehead. Don't hit it. And then you're gonna straighten. But we're gonna add in a leg extension. So arms are up, and we're going to think about taking the arms down, and we're gonna straighten the knee, and then we're gonna set it down again. So the arms go down, bend at the elbow, straighten your knee, and then lift. Your time is officially on, 45 seconds. I have to do this a little bit different. This kind of messes with me. So I have to have my arms up and my legs up, like I'm trying to get them to touch. I want you to focus on the back of the arm, and I want you to focus on your quads on the front of your leg. Now, if you're thinking, this is too much for my brain to handle today, take out the leg extension, just focus on the skull crushers, doing the arm exercise. When I do a combo exercise like this, you pick one of the 2 if you need to. 10 seconds. So just lower and lift. Good. All right. Chest press. What you're going to do is you're going to take the leg that was doing the extensions, and you're going to kind of straighten it out so it's hovering over the floor. You're going to take your arms down, and then when you press the arms up, you're going to bring the knee in. So arms go down, straighten the leg, and then bring it back in. So arms down, leg straightens, arms push to the ceiling, knee comes in. Lower and press. And this is another one that you can just focus on your chest press. Take out the leg, don't stress about it. We're just adding in a little extra. So a little quad, little core, little glutes, 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, pullovers. Grab 1 dumbbell, hold it on the ends, and we're gonna take our arm overhead towards the floor. We're gonna come up and we're gonna crunch and see like we wanna put our dumbbell on our ankle. So we're gonna do a pullover, foot down, then we're gonna come up and we're gonna do a little crunch like you wanna lift your leg and set the dumbbell on your ankle. You're not actually going to, it's just that little touch. So slow and steady. So arms reach towards the floor, they don't have to touch. Pull the knee in, dumbbell goes towards the ankle. Remember, we do everything twice. So if you're like, I'm a little confused right now, we have a second set. We have a second set. So we're focusing on keeping the core pulled in. 2 and 1. Good. Carefully set the dumbbells off to the side. No dumbbells for the next exercise. We're going to take our hands lightly behind our ears. And your first option is right shoulder or right hand reaches to the outside of the left knee and down, and then we switch. So we're just going to do a little side to side. Your knees are bent, your feet stay flat on the floor. This is kind of your option 1, a little bit more spine safe. If you don't want to rotate, you can just lift and hold, and that's okay too. If you would like to add a leg lift when you try to touch that knee. Just think, hey, I'm gonna, instead of touching my knee, can I touch my toes? Can I lift my leg so that I can reach and try to touch my toes? Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna flip it over onto hands and knees. We're gonna go for a plank. If you want to stay on your back and do a dead bug, you can do that instead. But hands and knees, and I'm gonna walk my hands out a little bit so that my hips are in front of my knees, and I'm just gonna hold it. This is your option 1. So you start hands and knees, walk the hands forward, and then shift your weight, shoulders over wrists. I have my toes tucked under. You can try doing toes pointed, but I have my hips a little bit in front of my knees, and I'm just trying to hold that nice neutral spine position. If you want to make it a little bit harder, lift one knee off the ground and then switch. So you're going to do alternating knee lifts. This kind of gets you ready to come up to a toe plank, or come all the way up to a toe plank and hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully come down to your knees. We're gonna go all the way down onto our tummies. The hard part for this one is make sure the dumbbells are out of the way. And we're just gonna come down. Hands are gonna be by your hips. Upper body is nice and neutral, and we're just gonna bring our arms up overhead and then come back down to our hips. So arms up overhead, back down to your hips. Your upper body can stay down. You can put something under your forehead. So you can put a pillow or a yoga block or something under your forehead if you'd like to help support you. But we're just drawing snow angels. But instead of being on our backs, we accidentally landed face first in the snow. We're gonna make a good time of it. We're just gonna draw our little snow angels. This is just really good shoulder mobility here. Good, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. Give yourself a little bit of a break. We're going to flip over and we're going to do the same 6 exercises again. So we're going to flip over, grab our dumbbells, because we start with our Skullcrushers. Remember, if you're standing, you're just going to do that tricep kickback. So we're gonna take it all the way down. Skullcrushers with a leg extension. I like to squeeze my knees together so that I know that I'm not dropping my leg. But 45 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. So we just have our arms up, and I'm going to start arms up, legs up, and then my arms bend at the elbows, and then I bring it back up again. As always, if you don't want to do the leg part, you can just do the arms. Just focus on your Skullcrushers. So for this one, our elbows are over your shoulders. So your elbows are pointing towards the ceiling if you're on the floor. They're pointing back behind you if you're staying standing. You bend the elbows and then you straighten. And it's the straighten where you're shortening the muscle on the back of the arm. That muscle is working, it's pulling those dumbbells up. Good, carefully bring it in. Now we're gonna take our arms up. So this is just a way of doing a push-up without having to be on our hands and our knees. So I'm gonna do arms up. I'm going to do knees in. I'm gonna lower my elbows towards the floor, lower the arms down, straighten my leg, and then when I press the dumbbells to the ceiling, I pull my knee into my chest. So this is kind of a leg press. It's like you're trying to do a squat, but you're on your back. So knees are coming in towards your chest, and then we press it out. Knee in, and press it out. So pull the knee into the chest, and then press it out. But again, if you want to just focus on the chest press, go for it. This is just a little extra core, a little extra hips. 10 seconds. Good, bring it in. A little shakeout. I switched to one dumbbell for this one. We're gonna do a pullover. So arms up, low back pulled into the floor. And we're just gonna lower that dumbbell, bring it up, add a little crunch, and then pull the knee in like we wanna set the dumbbell on the ankle. So we're kind of doing a pullover, and then we add a little bit of a crunch. So pull over, and then crunch. So we're opening at the shoulders, letting the arms move towards the floor. So open, add a little crunch, pull that knee in. Or just do your pullover. So let the foot stay on the floor, lower the dumbbell towards the floor, and then bring it right back up again, right over your chest. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set the dumbbell down off to the side. We're gonna go for our bicycles or our oblique crunch. And this is just where we do shoulder towards the opposite knee. And if you wanna stay standing, you're gonna do the same thing standing. Good, so bring it up, rotate, and rotate. Shoulder towards the opposite knee. So just lift, lower, lift, lower. Now if you want to make it a little bit harder, you always have your feet off the floor. And it's kind of an alternating bicycle pedal. Good, 15 seconds. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. We're going to flip it over for our plank. And there's nothing fancy today. We're just trying to hold a plank for 45 seconds. So you can start on hands and knees, brace your core, then walk your hands out a little. Your time's on, and then you just shift your weight a little bit forwards. Shoulders over the wrists. If this is uncomfortable for your wrist, try rolling up your mat and placing the heel of your palm on your mat. It takes a little bit of pressure off the wrist, but it also lets you know that you might want to work on a little bit of wrist mobility when you have time. And then if you want to make it a little bit harder, you want to get ready to be up on your toes. You're going to straighten one knee, lift it off the ground, and then set it down. Switch and down. If you're ready to bring it up to a full plank on your toes, give it a shot. We have 3, 2, and 1. All right, on your tummy. Last exercise for today, as we're gonna be all the way down on our tummies. We're gonna take our hands by our hips, and we're just gonna do our snow angels. So 2 and 1. So take the arms up overhead, and then back down by your hips. So overhead and by your hips. We're trying to draw a circle, but we're gonna do a half circle on one side, a half circle on the other. And then your body is kind of the line in the middle. So you're taking the pie, you're dividing the pie in half. Good, we've got 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and rest on your tummy, or you can come to a seated position. If you're standing, you can walk around a little bit. I'm going to leave my equipment down on the floor. It's not taking up too much space today. I am going to sneak over, however, and grab a quick drink. We just want to make sure that we don't go from on our backs to a standing position without letting our blood figure out where it needs to go today. And we're just going to go for a little bit of stretching. So we're going to sit on our buns, take the legs a little bit wide, heels on the floor. If you can get your feet flat on the floor, great. If you can't, heels on the floor. Hands by your hips. Right leg only, I want you to do a wiggle. I just want you to think like you're trying to drop your knee to the floor in the middle and then knee to the floor on the outside. It doesn't have to touch. So this is kind of our windshield wiper. I just want it to go in and then out, in and out. So this is our internal and external rotation. Our hip is one of the two joints that does like everything. It goes in, out, forward, back, side to side, circle. Good. Now we're going to switch and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. If it's uncomfortable for you to have your knee bent, you can just take that leg out straight and take your leg side to side. Call these, this is kind of 90-90, but windshield wipers. So you're just kind of taking your foot, moving from the hip, going side to side. You look like a windshield wiper on your car. So just that good side to side movement. Good, let's bring it into the center. We're gonna take those legs out straight. Your feet are just relaxed. They don't have to be pulled up. They don't have to be pointed, just relax, but try to have them pointing to the ceiling. Goal is to keep the knees down, and we're gonna just start to walk a little bit forwards and see, can you get close to your toes? Maybe you are up here and you're like, I got to my knees, yay. Okay, cool. Maybe you can get to your shins, you can get to your ankles. Maybe you can get to your toes. If I'm having a good day, I can get to my toes. Today, I'm kind of having a good day. We just want to feel a stretch. We don't want to feel pain. We don't want to feel discomfort. Just a nice, good stretch. I am doing a little bit of back rounding, so I am trying to stretch my low back and mid back a little bit today as well. Here's 2 and 1. Bring it all the way up. Bring it in, bottoms of the feet touching. We're going to take it out to a butterfly stretch. If you're really tight, your knees might be pretty high. You can take your hands by your hips, sit tall, and then just try to let those knees drift out down towards the floor. Some of you might be able to grab your toes, grab your feet, and really press those thighs out. And then some of you might be able to add in a forward lean, a forward fold. So everybody's at a little bit of a different point. You find your point and you just focus on your stretch. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. We're going to flip over onto hands and knees. If you need to come to standing for this part, that's a great option. Just find a wall or a chair or a countertop, but we're going to sit our hips back towards our heels, variation on a child's pose. And our goal here, or my goal here, is to stretch underneath my arms, where my arms attached to my torso. We did triceps, we did pullovers. So both of those exercises work the back of the arm and where your arm attaches. So we're just trying to stretch it out, get a little mobility in those shoulders. Good. Go ahead and bring it back up to hands and knees. We're going to walk our hands back towards our knees. We're going to walk our hips towards our heels, and we're going to come to a half kneeling position. So front knee is over your shoelace, back leg, hip is about over your knee. We're going to tuck our tail under, point your tailbone to the floor, and then we're going to do just a little push forwards, deepen the stretch in the front of your hip. If this is uncomfortable being on the floor on your knee, you can come up to that lunge position and do the same exercise standing. So if being on your knees just doesn't feel very good today, feel free to stand up. 2 and 1. We're going to switch. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Good half kneeling position. I start with my knee over my ankle, or maybe my ankle a little bit forwards. Tuck your tail, tailbone points to the floor, and then your front knee is going to push a little bit towards your toes, just until you feel a stretch in that back leg. Our ribs are still stacked over our hips. A lot of times, if we're tight in the front of our hip, our pelvis gets rocked forwards, and that's where we look like we have a big curve in our low back, and sometimes we get back pain from that. So we want to stretch out the front of that hip. 2 and 1. Good. We're going to pull that front leg back a little bit, and we're going to try to come to standing. Can you stand up without putting your hand on something? We're going to take our arms up, hands lightly behind the ears. Exhale, back of the hand. We're going to try to come to the small of our back. So I want you to imagine that your arm is against the wall. And it's okay if your hands get here and then here. Just do what feels okay for your shoulders. This is one that the more you do it, the looser your shoulders will feel, the better you're gonna get. Good, bring it in, shoulders down, just roll the shoulders a little bit. Good, shoulders down and back in your back pocket, ear to shoulder, side to side. Bring the head up, look to one side, look to the other. 2, 1, bring it in the center, big breath in, spread your fingers, spread your toes, and exhale. One more time, big breath in, spread the fingers, spread the toes, and exhale, and you are all done.